I'm Angella Sharpe, and you already know you're watching STL TV, where you get to experience St. Louis. But if you are a talented teen or no one, this right here is the show for you. I'm super excited. I have Leanne Matthews joining us. Now I'm gonna get this right. You are the Education and Artistic Director of the Fox Performing Arts Charitable Foundation.
Yes.
Now I know that they do so much, but what you are here to talk about is this teen talent competition.
Exactly.
Now this teen talent competition, I've talked about it before on other shows. It's so interesting to me. So you kind of walk me through if I had no idea what this was about.
Okay, all right. So if you are a teenager in St. Louis and in the greater St. Louis area, so if 50 miles from the Arch in any direction, and you have some sort of artistic passion and you want to express yourself, then you can audition for Teen Talent Competition. And it starts with preliminary auditions. And I'm talking about singers, dancers, musicians, instrumentalists, jugglers, stand-up comics, magicians, you name it. If you've got a talent, you can come to these auditions.
And some of these talents are very unique. I think we know a lot of people that are singers and dancers, and that is also awesome. Mm-hmm. But you have some very interesting talents that have come through in years past.
Yes, there have been lots of different kinds of circus performers, acrobats, jugglers, hula hoops, aerialists. It's been a wide variety of talent.
This is so cool.
And so we start with the preliminary auditions, which are in January. Then we go to semifinals, which were in February. And then in March, we narrow it down to between 12 and 15 different acts. So an act can be one person, or it can be up to 6 people.
Oh, okay.
So we then narrow it down, and those lucky kids get to perform on stage at the fabulous Fox Theater.
And that is the part that I think is so cool. I think that is it would be so amazing to do something like that. Even just to try out, I think would give you a lot of confidence. But even if you didn't make it, but if you did make it to that final on the Fox, to be on the stage at the Fox, I think can really fuel you for whatever your talent is.
I totally agree. And I directed the production last year. So I directed the big final showcase of all of the finalists. And I have been in the theater business my entire life. And that, for me, was a big, huge thrill being there at the Fox Theater with these kids and this supportive audience. And what's also neat is that if you are not the type of person who wants to go on the stage, you can come see the competition for free.
And that's even better.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this before the show. Mm-hmm. I think it's something, it wasn't around when I was around, but I think I would have wanted to try out, but maybe I'd be a little scared about trying out, but I definitely would come watch. But you've added something this year that I think is even better for people that would have been like me, maybe a little more shy. Maybe they know they have a talent, but they're a little shy.
Right.
Talk about that, the coaching.
Our mission really is to encourage young people to engage with the arts. So we don't want to make it scary. And we know it is competitive and it is scary, but we're really about building community and creating opportunity. And so Saturday is Saturday, November 18th, and then Saturday, December 16th. We are doing coaching workshops, and they're absolutely free. We will even help with transportation if someone wants to come, because we know there are a lot of incredibly talented people out there who might just not know the next step.
Right.
And we want to be there to provide that next step. So if it does feel scary, if there are kids out there who are a little bit nervous, we want to make it easy on you, and we want to make it something that you can really thrive at.
I love the coaching aspect of this for people that would be maybe a little bit more nervous, a little bit more reserved, but maybe they know they want to do this. This is a good way for them to get in there, and I'm sure they could go to the coaching and then say, ooh, not this year, maybe next year.
Maybe so, or maybe that just is enough of a confidence boost to get them to the next step.
The next step.
Yeah.
And you've had some really impressive people come through and actually win this competition. So let's kind of talk about some of those people who have come through.
I have been blown away by what I have seen on that stage from teenagers. It's really impressive. And many of them have gone on to continue their art form in professional ways. So it's, that's something that's kind of neat about the competition too, is that there's a lot of mentorship along the way. Even our judges or evaluators or adjudicators are there to give feedback along the way.
Yes.
So they're not just saying, it's not like, American Idol where you're just getting shot down.
Yeah,
And,
like
it's
gawing
nothing
you
like
off the
that.
stage, right.
It's all in the spirit of education and mentorship. So there's a lot of opportunity. And we give out a lot of scholarships, a lot of free training, a lot of in-kind kind of mentorships and things like that. So it's a lot more than just this shiny trophy for one person. It is an experience for everyone.
Yeah, and you keep emphasizing that you want it, yes, it is a competition, but you really want to get more and more teens in the arts to express themselves, to kind of tap into that talent that they have.
Yeah, that's the big goal, for sure.
The most important part of that, I
Yes,
would imagine.
definitely.
And well, like we mentioned earlier, no talent is really off limits. I'm sure you'll talk to some people to see what their talent is, but I'm sure there's maybe even talent we haven't mentioned that somebody has that you would love to see.
Right, exactly. I mean, we've seen it on like America's Got Talent and things like that. People bring in these very peculiar skills, and we're open to all of it. We're
Open
all of
to
it.
all of it.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of walk through each step of this process.
Okay.
So if there's a teen listening or a mom or a dad of a teen,
Yeah.
they kind of know how this works.
Yeah, so registration is open now.
Okay.
So that's really step one, is going to the website, stlteentalent.org, and there's a little registration thing you fill out, and it also, at that time, you can sign up for the workshops.
Oh,
so
perfect,
so
yeah.
that makes it kind of easy. And then
How long is registration open till? Or do you-
until, I don't have the
Yes.
date, January 9th, maybe?
Okay, so like
Something.
you have some time, but we're talking you probably want to, even
Yeah.
if you're not sure you want to do it, I feel like register so you have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and practice.
Right.
That's an important part too, because if you practice, you will feel more confident going into it.
Oh, absolutely.
So even if you don't, we want you to come to the coaching workshop, but if you don't, then practice on your own.
Practice on your own.
Yeah.
So the first step is registration.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
And then you come to the coaching workshop.
Okay,
and then
right.
you feel all confident. and
I
ready
feel
to go.
better about myself.
Yes. And then our preliminary auditions are the weekend of January 13th.
Okay.
So that's a big one. You got to show up to that.
Show up to that,
and then
hopefully make it to the next level.
Yep, and
And
then-
if not, you're still leaving with some constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
To help you.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes. And we really want our judges to be as supportive as possible. So I wouldn't even call it criticism at all. I think it's just wonderful guidance.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, everyone has a sleepless night, and then we find out, in the next couple of days, who is moving on to the semifinals, which are
Okay.
in February. I believe they're the first weekend of February.
February.
So that cuts it down from like around, 150, 200 to like 50.
Oh, okay.
So then
So if you've made that, you're
that's a great thing.
You're doing good.
Yeah,
Really,
honestly, if you show up at all,
I'm
you
gonna
have
say that
really-
too.
yeah, because it takes a lot of courage.
a lot of courage.
Yeah. And so the semis, things are a little bit, and I should mention too that we have different time slots for the different types of talent. So
Oh,
all of the
okay.
singers will be, let's say, in the morning, and then
Right.
all of the dancers in the afternoon, things
Sure.
like that. And our judges are specialized in those areas as well.
That is important to know.
And they are all professionals in their field. So
Love
this
that,
is
okay.
not, we're just not pulling people off the street. We are
Right.
We are vetting
They
them
actually
very
know what
carefully.
they're doing, yes.
Yes. And we make sure they also know how to phrase all of their feedback in such a way that makes it very educational and helpful and supportive.
Perfect.
So that's really great. And then after semis, there are actually several people who come to semis and audition who don't get chosen to move on to the finals, but will still get awards. They'll still get
Oh.
awards for training or scholarships in there. Like we've had dancers who have gotten, training from different dance studios in town and vocal coaches and things like
Oh,
that.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's our way of saying we really want to continue supporting you.
Right.
We can't take you to the Fox this year, but we
Who knows,
still
maybe next year.
We still want to nurture that talent. in you.
Yes.
Because it's hard. I mean, 14 people out of 200.
That's rough.
It's tough. It's a really tough decision. I'm glad I don't have to make it.
I was going to say, absolutely. And when is the big event? Like you said,
Yeah.
anybody can come watch this event,
Yeah.
which I think is awesome all on its own.
Yeah, so the big event, so once you have been selected to the finals, then you work with the creative team to polish that act even further. We kind of take it from, the audition kind of level to the Fox Theater
Stage,
stage
right.
level. And we have a full orchestra that backs behind most of the acts. We have full technical capabilities. A professional costume designer comes in and puts them in.
This is a whole production.
It's a whole production. We have dancers. We have a host who is, a kind of a little local celeb, and then our judges for that particular round are also, kind of the famous St. Louis.
Yes,
and
well, we love
top
that.
of their field.
So this is a big deal. So I think we have a
really neat.
graphic to put on the
Okay.
screen for people who would like to register.
Good.
So tell us about, it's all right there on your
Okay,
screen, right
perfect.
there.
There
And
it
that
is.
registration deadline is January 8th.
I was close. I said
You
the
were
9th.
so close. So if you are a talented teen or know a talented teen, just register. That's step one. And then you can worry about getting your audition perfected, going to the coaching, all that stuff. And I think I've mentioned it before. This would have been so cool when I was a kid, but I gotta tell you, I would have been too scared to do it. So don't be like me. Don't be too scared. Definitely check it out. And then maybe you can perform on the Fox Theater stage.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. This was fun.
I think this is so awesome. Don't forget to register your talented teen, or if you are one, register yourself online right now. And then you can follow us, STL TV, on all our social media channels right there on your screen. We'd love to hear from you. What do you want to see next? Keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis. I'll see you next time.